Hi, my name is Angela McCorkle, and I'm serving as the 2023 Texas 4-H Roundup Fashion Show Superintendent, and I'm excited to be with you today virtually for our fashion show orientation. During our fashion show orientation, we're going to cover the fashion show interview, the fashion show practice, and then the public fashion show, which all three of those are components of the contest. And in order to compete, you have to be present for each of those events. Before we go on further, I do want to stop and say congratulations to each of you for competing at the district level and being a first place winner. All the hard work that you have put into your project has paid off, and now you have an opportunity to compete with your peers from across the state. So as we move forward, let's go ahead and start with the fashion show interview. The fashion show interview, along with all of the fashion show components, will be taking place on Tuesday, June the 6th in College Station. Now, the fashion show interview will be taking place at an alternate location. We will not be on campus. We will be at the AgriLife South Campus building, which is located at 1470 William D. Fitch Parkway. That is in College Station. Attached to the email with the link to this orientation, you will also have a flyer that has the address and then a map between those two locations. For those of you that are not familiar with College Station, I do want you to know that the Welborn route is under construction right at the moment, and I would not recommend that being your best or fastest route to get from South College Station back to campus. So let's go ahead and talk about what to bring with you, when to get there, where to go, all of those pieces of information. We are at the AgriLife South Campus building, which is nice because we are off campus and we have a large parking lot. The parking lot is found at the intersection of William D. Fitch and Lakeway. Parking is free. You are welcome to park wherever you would like to in the parking lot. There are no reserved spots. You won't get towed. You're going to be coming in through the front entrance, which will be the covered drive. You'll come in and take a left, and down that short hallway there will be a registration table. At the registration table you will check in. It's important that you check in and check out of every contest that you're participating in during 4-H Roundup. Specifically for fashion show, we will do a check-in at the interview portion, and then when you leave you'll be asked to check out as well. Once you get to the check-in table, they'll have you sign in. This is also an opportunity for those that are working the registration table to give you your fashion show lineup number. You'll also receive several copies of the fashion show program, and this will be your opportunity to drop off those thank you notes that you have been writing to our donors. Those are important because they sponsor us, they allow this event to happen, and they allow for us to be able to give you a lot of exciting prizes. So make sure to bring those thank you notes. One other thing that I would recommend that you bring with you is a copy of your fashion show paperwork. Right now we have fashion show paperwork for almost everyone. And we hope that it stays that way, but it's always just nice to have a backup plan in case something were to happen the day of the event. So bring that copy of your paperwork along with you. Once you get in the building and you get checked in, you will find that there is a large girls' dressing room. It is actually our workout space here in the building. It has large mirrors. We'll have chairs and hanging racks. You'll also have access to the adjoining restroom where there is additional cubbies to put things, plenty of mirror space to finish any makeup, those type of things. So those will be available to you starting at 7:45 on June the 6th. the guys that are participating in the fashion show, you also have a dressing room. It is at the very entrance of our building. Not quite as fancy as the workout room, but you will still have access to mirrors. You'll have access to hanging racks and places for you to put your belongings during the interview process. And for those of you that would like to come dressed, that's fine, or you can plan on changing into your fashion show outfit here in the building, whichever works for you. But as I said, the building will open at 7:45 for you to take advantage of those. In this email, you will have received a copy of the interview schedule. Those interviews take place starting at 9 a.m. and run every 10 minutes. On that schedule, make sure to find your name so that you know what time your interview is scheduled. We always make sure that everyone is interviewed. We try to stay on schedule, stay with that 10-minute format. But if there was an emergency and for some reason that you arrived late, we will make sure that everyone gets interviewed. It's just really important. I don't want anybody to be stressed out on the day of the event. During that 10-minute interview time, what I will tell you is that the judges, we kind of give them a schedule of what happens during that time. You're going to be coming in and you're going to be introducing yourself to the judges and then doing a short modeling of your garment. You want to make sure that they can see the front of your garment, the back of your garment, from head to toe. They want to be able to see your shoes, everything that you are wearing. Once they have had an opportunity to see your whole garment, you'll step back, and then this is your opportunity to present to the judges. This presentation will be a max of 5 minutes. Most of our presentations are closer to 2 to 3 minutes, but this is your opportunity to share with the judges everything that you have done in your project work. We're looking at project activities, things that you have learned. You're going to be talking about construction skills, buying skills, how do you care for your garments, all of those things that are included on the score sheet, you want to make sure to include in your presentation. And there may be something special about your experiences or maybe your project that you created, or maybe it's a community service project. Those things can all be talked about during that presentation time. Once your presentation is over, the judges will be asking you questions, and those come off of the interview lists that are found on the Texas 4-H Fashion and Interior Design webpage. They're going to be asking you questions. What I ask of my judging teams is that they pick 3 to 5 questions that they're going to ask everyone in their category. Now, some people may answer all 5 questions because their answers are shorter. You may have a contestant who has a longer answer for 1 or 2 questions, and they may only get to 3 of the questions. But we do want to make sure that our judges are asking the same questions to all the participants. Now, I will say that I do allow the judges to ask questions that are specific to the 4-H'er. So if in your paperwork or in your presentation, there's something that you talk about, like on your beaded gown, there are 3,000 Swarovski crystals that you hand sewed onto your garment. The judges may ask you about how long it took you to sew all of those crystals on. So they are allowed to ask you questions that are specific to your project or your project experiences. At that point in time, the judges will release you, and you can go back to the waiting room, or you are free to go. Once you are done judging, you are free to go. But I will say during that interview time, the judges will have about 3 to 4 minutes for them to write comments. I do ask my judges to write lots and lots of comments, because everyone that's coming to Texas 4-H Roundup in the fashion show, you know, this is their area where they have been working hard, and they're going to be competing against other people that have been working hard, and we want them to know what are the things that they did really well and what are the things that they could still continue to improve upon. So during those last 3 to 4 minutes, the judges are going to be writing comments. You will receive a copy of your score sheets from the judges so that you can view those comments. I'm going to take a step back just a little bit because I kind of skipped from coming in and getting dressed to specifically the interview process. So let me get back to once you are dressed and ready to be interviewed, you will be going to room 175, which there's plenty of signage, and it's right next to the females dressing room. But that's our large conference room, and we will be using that as our holding room. We do have a kitchen that's on the other side of the holding room. Anyone that brings food and drink in, we would encourage you to do that in the kitchen. Since we do have this nice new conference room, we don't want to have food or drink spilled in the 175. But 175 is where our runners will come and get each of the participants and take them to their interview rooms. So at about 8:50, our runners are going to come into the room, and they're going to announce that they will need all of the participants that have 9 a.m. judging times. And they'll ask you to come to the front of the room. They'll mark you off the list. And as soon as everyone is there, they will walk you directly to your interview room. In your interview, once they walk you to your interview room, they're going to drop you off with a timekeeper. And this is the person who is going to be kind of the gatekeeper. They're going to allow those judges to finish their comments before they allow you in the room. They're also going to give you a nice smile and make you feel comfortable before you go into the judging room. But they are kind of that gatekeeper. They're going to be the ones that are making sure that the judges are ready for you to go in. So, once the judges are ready, the timekeeper will let you in. And like I said, that's when you're going to start introducing yourself, doing a quick modeling of your garment, and then you are going to do your presentation followed by your interview questions. So once that is done, you are free to go. And just want to make sure that when you leave the AgriLife South Campus building that you take everything with you, because that will be the only time that we are in this building. I'm going to look at my notes real quick to see if I have covered everything that I needed to. One note that I made is I always have this question every year. What time do I need to show up for my interview? And I'm going to tell you that that's your personal choice. If your interview is at 9 o'clock and you need a lot of time to feel prepared, you are welcome to come in at 7:45, get dressed, and be there, a whole hour before your presentation or before your interview slot. There are those of you that would rather not sit and wait, and if your interview time is at 9 a.m., you may choose to get there at 8:40 and be ready at 8:50 to be on deck to go start your interview. That's fine. Just make sure that you are in room 175 10 minutes prior to your interview time. That way, that allows those runners to be able to take you from the holding room to the individual judging rooms. Let's see here. I think I've covered everything as far as the actual interview, but if there's something that you don't feel like I covered and you have additional questions about the interview process, do feel free to give me a call or send me an email. If I have a lot of questions that a lot of the same questions, I may send that information out in a group email. I always say I'm only going to do 3 emails for Fashion Show, but if I find out that I've missed some information, then I'll go ahead and follow up on that. Next, we're going to talk about the fashion show. We're going to talk about practice, and we're going to talk about the public show. And you notice on the screen, you see 2 lovely faces here. Bailey Wright is the District 2 4-H specialist, and Danita Young is the District 4 4-H specialist, and they are going to be the people that you work with at Reed Arena. So once your interview is done, you're going to leave AgriLife South Campus, and I'm going to encourage everyone to make sure that they get something to eat before you go to fashion show practice, because it could really be a long day, and once you get to practice, you're going to be there until the end of the actual fashion show. So come to Reed Arena. The address is listed there, 730 Olson Boulevard. Just a reminder, make sure that you have a parking pass so that you do not get a ticket. It's nice in the morning that you can come to AgriLife South Campus without one, but if you are parking in Reed Arena parking lot, you need to have registered your vehicle. The fashion show practice will begin at 12:30. Make sure that you come dressed, that you have your shoes on that you will be wearing. When you get to the building, parking is usually on the north side of the building. And you come in that side door, one of the side doors. I will tell you that the easiest way to get downstairs is coming in through the ticket office. If somebody drops you off, you can come in through the ticket office entrance and then take a right, and at the end of that hallway is an elevator that will take you downstairs so that you don't have to negotiate all the stairs from the arena or from the concourse level down to the floor. So you're welcome to take the elevator down. As you are walking from the elevator to Reed Arena floor, you will notice there's a concession stand, and next to the concession stand there is male and female restrooms. If you do need to change clothes, if you're one of the individuals who is competing in buying or construction in the natural fiber and you have to change your outfit, you will do that in that restroom that is in that hallway closest to the concession stand before you get to the Reed Arena floor. So let's see, practice starts at 12:30. Bailey and Danita are going to take the leadership for that. Make sure you come dressed, as I said before, along with your shoes. And make sure that when you leave fashion show interviews that you know your fashion review or your fashion show number. That will help with the lineup process. That's the first thing that's going to happen, is that they are going to line you up based on your number. And once that lineup is done, Danita's going to take some time and talk about modeling techniques and looking your best on stage, because we do want you're showcasing the work that you've done in this project area, and we want you to put your best foot forward. So Danita's going to talk a little bit about modeling on stage, the process for how that will work, how to get on and off the stage, what will happen while you're on stage, and then exiting the stage. Let me see here. Like I said, if you are competing in natural fiber and a buying or constructed category, you will have two numbers. We try really hard to make sure that you are at the front and the back of the fashion show schedule so you have time to change your clothes. Let's see. After Danita talks a little bit about modeling, every participant will have the opportunity to practice on stage with music and then with your narration that you submitted along with your paperwork. You may notice if your narration was really long that we have edited some of the narration, and we want everyone's to be about the same amount of time. During the interview or during the fashion show practice, the narrators are also going to be visiting with you about pronunciations of names and terms that you may use in your narration. Be prepared to share with them how to pronounce your name and then also those terms. There's probably lots more with the fashion show practice, but I'm going to leave that for Bailey and Danita to cover those things with you. Bailey has spent some time and put together a fashion show playlist that I know that y'all are going to really enjoy. It's a lot of upbeat contemporary songs that you know the words to, but there aren't words to the song, so it's a little bit easier to model along with. At 2:30 is the public show, and we will have a photographer that is there taking pictures during the show. Those will be posted on the 4-H Flickr account so that you can have some pictures of your experience. During the public fashion show, the top 3 in each category will be announced. We will not announce first, second, and third. We will announce the top 3. The top 3 will have an opportunity to walk the stage at the evening assembly. We'll provide you information about what time you need to be at the evening assembly if you're one of the top 3. One of the questions I always get is, should I wear my fashion show outfit as I walk across the stage at the evening assembly? And I'm going to tell you that's totally up to you. A lot of people really do like to see the fashion show outfits modeled. The last 2 years when we were outside, not very many people wanted to wear their fashion show outfits when it was warm outside, but we will be back at Reed Arena in the air conditioning, so if you would like to wear those, you are welcome to do that. I think those are most of the announcements for the practice and the fashion show. One thing that I will say for parents, coaches, and agents during the practice, if you want to stay for the instruction portion of it, that's fine. We do ask that during the practice that you leave, because if you watch everyone practice as they watch across the stage, it's not as exciting as seeing it in real time. The last thing that I wanted to cover here is awards. And we don't often talk about awards, but like I said earlier, we have some great donors, and I want to make sure that everyone knows the awards that are given each year. First place for buying and construction is a sewing machine from Sobac City. Those sewing machines are valued over $350, and Sobac has been a long-time donor for Fashion Show, and I want to make sure that everyone appreciates the quality of machines that they're giving each year. First place for natural fiber, they receive a cash award. That cash award will be mailed directly to their home, and that usually arrives at the end of June. And then second and third place awards will be a physical item, and those prizes will be given on stage at the evening assembly. As I said, after watching the orientation, I didn't answer all of your questions. Please feel free to reach out, give me a call, or send me an email, and I can clarify or answer any questions that you may have. I really enjoy being able to work with the 4-H program, specifically with the fashion show, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you on June the 6th in College Station. Have a great day.